All right. Well, welcome everyone to Cultivating the Will to Lead. I'm so excited to have you all joining. I know this is a lot of people's lunch break, so thank you so much for joining me today. I just want to, the theme is cultivating the will to lead for the year 2026, cultivating the will to lead. And I just want to give my definition of that. Genuine leadership isn't just about having a fancy title. It's all about making a steady choice to understand ourselves better so that we can inspire others to join us and for them to find their own way. That's what I'm meaning about cultivating the will to lead. And then I use for a subtitle, Am I an effective leader? And that question should be asked amongst every leader in this world. But at the end of the day, was I effective today? I want to share a short clip, testimonial. Should be like about 60 seconds. And then we're going to go on to the next slide, to the introduction. Let's see, can I show this here? All righty. Let's see. Yeah. Leader of Wisdom Leadership Global Academy.
Can't see
I've
it.
known Dr. Lee all my life, but I've had the privilege. You can't see it?
Mm-mm.
You can hear it.
Yeah, I can hear it, but can't see it.
Lee is truly you can hear it, but you just can't see it. She leads from a place of love. She has a passion for effective leadership, a passion for making positive, lasting impact wherever her feet lands her. Dr. Lee is a woman of great wisdom, a woman of exceptional character, a woman of integrity who believes that an effective leader is a footprint for others to. So congratulations, Wisdom Leadership Global Academy. To see the amazing
It's breaking up bad. It's breaking up toward the end.
Oh wow, I'm gonna tell um Zoom about that. Like, hey, yeah, we can break it up. Okay, then where my PowerPoint go? Let's see here. Okay. All righty then. Let's try that. See what it get me here. Interesting. There we go. Okay, let's try the next screen. All right. I know everybody knows me, but I'm going to kind of give you an introduction again. My name is Dr. CJ Lee, CEO and founder of Wisdom Leadership Global Academy Corp. And I am thrilled to share my passion for leadership with the world, I get excited talking about leadership. I am a published author, book title, How to Be an Effective Teacher in the Public School System. Teaching is a ministry. And so that book next time for the next presentation next week, I'm going to make sure I have my link on there so people can actually click the link and go to Amazon and purchase that book. And I hold a doctor's degree in educational leadership professional practice from Trevecca Nazarene University here in Nashville, Tennessee. And I gave a snippet about Wisdom Leadership Global Academy Corp. I'm not going to read that. You can, read that for yourself. But I want to focus more on the last sentence. That's our assignment: equipping and empowering the next generation of emerging leaders for the marketplace. That's our assignment, and that's what I love to do: helping others, equipping and empowering the next generation, our young people. You got young people that are ready to lead, and they need to be told how to be lead, so they won't focus on being successful, but more on how to be effective. All right, and they go to our website there. And you can email me, and email the academy. I tell everybody we try 24 to 48 hours to respond. Might be before then, but we definitely try 24 to 48 hours to respond to all emails. All right. Now we dive on in there. Okay. Listen, I read this here, and I think I was blessed when by this. I ain't gonna try to pronounce the author's name of this post because I don't even know. All I know is alphabet, so I'm not going to try to pronounce her name, but credit is there listed. But she said, leadership is the ability to steer people towards a goal and inspire positive action. It involves much more than giving orders. It's about setting an inspiring vision, showing true commitment, and nurturing an environment of trust and teamwork. In her interaction, she said leaders who have made a difference display clear communication, empathy, and decisiveness. For leadership to be effective in a constantly changing world, qualities like adaptability, foresight, and emotional intelligence are increasingly important. And I totally agree with that. And if you have any comments or questions, make sure you just throw your hand up. I'm making sure I watch, anything. Anybody got any questions so far? Ted, I see you with your hand. You're on mute.
I need to turn my phone another way. Press the, like she has right here, qualities. Obviously, for an effective leader would be, I'm assuming she's talking about an effective leader right here. Adaptability, foresight, and emotional intelligence, are increasingly important. But I think one important factor she left out, and maybe that comes later, is also accountability.
Yes, yes,
So I
yes.
just wanted to throw that out there.
Oh, that's good. That's good. And just to piggyback on that, if you think about accountability, I think that's where our world lack. Uh, we so imbalanced as of today because lack of accountability. Don't nobody want to be accountable. Everybody want to, be in charge, but you don't want to accountability. You got to listen. You got to listen before responding, and that's the thing about it. Don't nobody want to be held accountable, even as leader, and we see that in our world today. And I wrote down a true leader knows that leadership goes beyond just a title we wear when we entering the office. It's a mindset and a commitment to inspire and uplift others no matter where we are. It's the pulse check that we have to check every day. And I mentioned this last week that this is so important. And then I highlighted it. And then I highlighted and I couldn't even read my highlight. I said, oh, wait a minute, I can't see that. But it starts at the breakfast table. It starts at home. It's just like everything else. Everything starts at home. Our training our children, it starts at home. We can't blame the teachers. We can't blame the church. You know what I'm saying? We can't blame the government. Even like yesterday, we had an opportunity to attend the governor's faith-based leadership, well, not leadership, community initiative summit, and you had faith leaders all across Tennessee that was there. But and I have to hey, hats off to the governor because he said the only way we're gonna change Tennessee is God. I'm like, thank you, because all you can have all these faith leaders in the room. If it all goes back that we still need direction and we need wisdom to be effective in how we to employ that wisdom in our state, in our lives, in our home. And like I said, everything starts at the breakfast table. Now, as I stated last week, I didn't grow up at the breakfast table. You grab and you win. We didn't have that. You got some families still got that tradition where everything starts at home. They pray, even they talk to their kids even the night before. So when we think about the pulse check, that starts at home. At home setting, and what it does is set a tone that prepares our family and us for that day. And I tell any adult that have children that you need to pray with your kids night and day. It is so much going on with our young people. So when you brought up the word accountability, that starts at home. We got to be accountable. All that starts at home. Any comments? All right, you got a comment, Tanika? Okay, next slide. All right, I thought this was powerful. Genuine leadership. A genuine leader is not a searcher for consensus, but a molder of consensus. none other than Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And I want to add on to that. And what he was saying is that he was explaining that conviction over conformity. He believed leaders should wait, leaders shouldn't wait for a Gallup poll or a majority vote to decide what is morally right. See, you can plug in accountability right there. Accountability would help you to do things that's morally right. He said instead of looking for what people already agree on, which is called a searcher, a leader should work to convince people of what they should agree on, which is a molder. That's being an effective, genuine leader. That's what Dr. Martin Luther King meant about when he wrote this quote. Quote, I'm saying quote. All right, no questions. I'm going to move to the next slide. All right. The best leaders are passionate about developing emerging leaders because true leaders don't create more followers, they create more leaders. That's what I'm talking about, effective leaders. And that's when I say the subtitle is, am I an effective leader? That's a question we as leaders should ask ourselves every day, 8 hours a day. 365 days a year. It goes over even to the weekend. Even if was I effective Saturday, was I effective Sunday? It's all about effective. Everybody want to be successful. Everybody want money. Ain't nothing wrong with those two items. Ain't nothing wrong with being successful. And ain't nothing wrong with money, having money. But are you being effective though? You know what I'm saying? Are you folks on, I want this promotion. I deserve this promotion. But are you effective? Are you going to be an effective leader? And I'm not trying, the one thing about I want everybody to understand is that the podcast is not bashing nobody and judging the people. It's not about that. It's about helping, it's about equipping emerging leaders as well as seasoned leaders. Because we'll never graduate on this side. Every time we're learning something else. And too many times, and I can say for as the government, we spend money on training. And I'm like, what are you learning? Because you're not coming back being effective. I see this. I see the same attitude. I see the same micromanagement. That's not being effective. All right. Any questions on that? And I wanted to, I didn't mention last week, but the late Dr. Miles Monroe said, true leaders are distinguished by a unique mental attitude that emanates from emanates from an eternal discovery of self. This creates self-worth and a strong positive confidence of self-concept. Self-concept. Yes, ma'am.
No, and I was just thinking about that. Even and really, the best leaders are passionate about developing emerging leaders. And you think of leadership now, and I think I said this last week or week before last. The mindset is not effective. The mindset is who got the money. Whoever got the most money is the one that's gonna have the greatest power.
Wow.
We're living in a time where that's what's really in essence ruling in our nation. Those that are equipped financially, they have built a great wealth. So it's never an attitude of I want to be effective. It is that attitude of I want to be powerful. I want to be an authority. I want to be in charge. And as I said, before, even how when you mentioned about the government, just because you have knowledge of how to do something doesn't necessarily mean you should do it. In my opinion, everybody is not capable of leading others. Because you're not even capable of leading yourself, to be quite honest, especially if you're leading with the mindset of, I got money, so I got power, and I can do this and I can do that, and I got, my money is what creates the followers, instead of having followers that you can actually make a positive difference and impact in their lives. It's all about, well, how can we build? How can we build the wealth? How can we get what you got, instead of focusing on being effective and literally, life transfer. It's a transformation. You know what I'm saying? It's not even just a regular mind shift, but literally a transformation to really want to be someone that is effective.
Yes. Someone that others want to follow. You know, sitting back and you listen to
right.
people speak, and you're like, man, that person, you're giving, the Bible even tells us not to, boast on ourselves, let others boast
Mm-hmm.
about us. When you got an
Mm-hmm.
effective leader, man, you thanking that person, you thanking that leader. And that's when you receive accolades from those that follow you, those up under your tutelage, then you're being
Mm-hmm.
effective. You've been
Right.
effective. Another thing Dr. Miles Monroe said, that the most important quality of true leadership is the spirit of leadership.
Mm.
All humans inherently possesses the leadership spirit, but only those who capture the spirit of leadership become truly effective leaders.
Mm.
All right, we're going
That's
to go
good.
to the next slide. Now, I title this Uncomfortable Yet Necessary Question. This
Mm.
this slide is, I put on my notes. Please note that the following questions are not about judging our past, but about orchestrating our future through these 14 uncomfortable yet necessary questions. And the first question is, was I effective today? What I mean about that, effectiveness isn't just busyness. It is the alignment of our action with our purpose. It's alignment. It's alignment. I'm talking about business. It's not about being busy. All of us, if we take the time and say, I'm busy, I'm busy, I'm busy, but are you being effective in the midst of your business? It's the alignment of our actions with our purpose. Number two, did I add value? And I'm kind of going back again on yesterday when the governor said, I think yesterday was his last session, for his really as government, because his term is up. We'll pick a new governor here in Tennessee in November. And my question, if I had an opportunity to ask the governor, did you add value your 8 years in office? And what I mean, leadership is a value added service. If you're a leader, you should be adding value, if nothing else, but to yourself as well as to those up under your leadership. If we didn't listen to this right here. If I was at war, it hit me because when I'm doing my notes, it applies to me. I'm not exempt from all my notes. It helps me to grow, help me to check myself. If we didn't make someone else better today or sharpen our own skills, the day was a missed opportunity.
Mm.
That's when I said daily leaders should be at the end of the day. Was I effective today? Sit down at their desk before they leave the office. Was I effective today? Did I add value to myself or anybody on my team? It's something to think about. Question number three, does the energy lift, enlightenment, or drop, gloom? What I mean, presence and atmosphere. When we walk into a room, does the energy lift or drop? Our mood, our mood is a thermostat for the entire atmosphere and the team.
Mm.
So people, leaders need to ask themselves, people get excited, oh, they clap, yay. And sometimes you don't say nothing. And like, what's up with that? Y'all are everybody okay? We have to ask ourselves. And then number four, what is our leadership DNA? These are the 5 things I came up with. Character. Let me put it around. Let me pull it over here. Character. I want to talk about that just for a second. Our integrity, what I'm meaning, humility and ethics. That's what I'm talking about with character. And we hear that we heard this before. Who are we when no one is looking?
Mm.
Who are we when no one is looking? See, I'm not trying to boast on me, it's all God. But I'm the same way at work as I am at home. My
Mm-hmm.
private and public life, they're in alignment. I'm not one way at work, and at home I'm mean, or I'm mean at work and excited at home. No, no. Competence, description. Our actual skills, knowledge, and ability to deliver results. Question I'm asked: do we know what we are doing? You got a lot of people in leadership. You need to ask yourself: do I know what I'm doing? And you heard me say this before with the government, it's your tenure that puts you up in leadership. Not even whether if you're really a leader. Do you have a qualification? So my thing is that sometimes when people you allow man to push you in position, you still need to act. Do I know what I'm doing? Because your tenure, your years of service, don't mean you're qualified to be that leader. Mm-hmm. Communication. Whoa, such an important leadership tool. Trait in everything. What I'm saying, our ability to communicate clearly with people at all levels and from all backgrounds. Communication is so important, and we need to ask ourselves as leaders, am I effectively conveying my message? Am I effectively conveying my message? Do people understand what I'm saying? Am I clear? Am I concise? Then I got connection. Description, our emotional intelligence and ability to trust. Our emotional intelligence and ability to build trust. Do people feel valued by us as leaders? You know, that's something leaders, a lot of leaders feel like you just stated about money. I got money, so I don't have to take no training class. I don't need to do none of this. I know this. No, your money gonna run out. And when your money run out and you don't have no knowledge of what you're supposed to be doing, no background, you're not sharpening your craft and your skills. Do people value us? Anybody that's been up under my leadership, even when I was a leader, as a lead, as a manager, even as the chief, chapter president, people valued me because I was a woman a leader of character, competent, and I went in there, never been a president of a union. But it was God. He trained me how to do that. I was a communicator. I can connect with anybody. I love talking to people. I love ministering. I love fellowship. I love engaging with other people. Then conviction. Our vision, passion, and firmness in our beliefs. The question I ask myself and ask other leaders, where are we taking those that are up on our leadership? Where are we taking them? Is our vision clear? Are we passionate about being in the position that we're in? And are we firm in what we believe? Do we believe what we when you up on any organization, whether it be government, any amount 7 mountains of influence, you got to be firm. You got to believe in the vision, whether it's your own vision as you being the CEO, whether it's the corporation vision or the organization. You got to believe the vision. You got to believe that because my thing is, where are you leading me to? Where are you leading me to? Then I got here question number 5. Are we leading? Let me pull this up just a little bit here. Someone block my way. Number 5, are we leading from our spirit of humility? Are we leading from a spirit of humility or egoism? And what I'm meaning about that. Are we leading from a spirit of humility? Do we desire to serve? That's what leadership is about, influence and serving. Do we desire to serve? Or egoism, the desire to be served? Let my money serve me. People serve me because of my money. That's going to run out. And I highlight as I got a big old star, a huge star right here. And I mentioned this last week. The most honest assessment, leaderships at home, as I talked about that earlier, the most honest assessment of our leadership isn't found in a boardroom. It's found at our dinner table. Check this out. This is a powerful statement. I will use that probably for the rest of my life. If we are a hero at work, but a stranger to our family, our leadership is built on sand. And you pour water on sand, it runs. If we are a hero at work, but a stranger to our family. Our leadership is built on saying, I have a problem, whether you be at church or in the organization, that you got pastors, you start there preaching and you hollering and running and jumping, but at home, the kids don't even want to see you come. Your wife or your spouse don't even want to see you come. On the job, you one way out. You're happy out, but when you get at the workplace, you arrogant, you're nasty, you got such a bad spirit. If we are a hero at work, but a stranger to our family, that's something we need to question ourselves about. Our leadership is built on saying, and saying, when you pour some water on it, any kind of liquid on it, runs. Actually, and I'm not trying to put them on the spot, but in California, there are people that build their house up on the sand. And when a storm comes, that house just go down. A flood come. We have seen how houses when they show when floods come and storms come, how houses that built it went on a firm foundation, how they slide. Number 6, the unseen foundation. This is what I use. I talk about dealing with number 6, the unseen foundation, integrity versus image. If our private life were a documentary, would it match our public persona? Number 6, let me read that question again. If our private life were a documentary, would it match our public persona? Character isn't what we do when the cameras are rolling. It's what we do when no one is looking. Then number 7, let me hurry up here. When we enter, do our team or employees stand taller with confidence, or do they shrink in anxiety? When you're talking about the character audit, if our private life, I'm sorry, I read that wrong. The room test, I want to use that. I want to use the room test. Looking at those under our tutelage, when we enter, do we stand taller with confidence, or do we shrink in anxiety? What is people's action when we come in the room? What is their how we're perceived when we enter in the room? That's an ultimate feedback loop. Number 8, if they gave us an alias name today, and I'm guilty, y'all, and I'm guilty, I'm gone now. I will give manager a name in a minute. If they gave us a alias name today, would it be one of respect or one of ridicule? And that's the alias reality. Most teams have a nickname or a shorthand descriptions for their boss. If they gave us an alias name today, would it be one of respect or one of ridicule? All right. Number 9. Yeah. Are you trying to say something?
Yeah, no, I was just thinking about that last one, and it made me think about one of Kirk Franklin's old song. I know we over, but the end of that song says, "When I die, what will they say about me? Will the
Yeah.
work that I've done be enough to help someone when I die?"
Mm. Wow. That's awesome. That's something to think about. All
Mm.
right. Right at the end. I know I'm just a few minutes, 3 minutes over. I'm almost done. Number 9. What type of leader do we want to be known as? I want to be known as a leader with character, a leader that would influence, a leader that added value to me, a leader with love, that really displayed and illustrated love. I got number 9 here. I said leadership is about influence, not authority. By mastering the spectrum of leadership styles, we stop being a boss and start being a catalyst. Our mission should be moving from managing people to unlocking potential. That's what it should be about. Knowing the 8, I'm going over here to number 9 real quick. I'm not going to read all this here. Y'all can see that, if you hadn't taken a picture of the screenshot. But we talk about democratic, autocratic, laissez-faire, and strategic and transformational and transaction solution based and learning leadership. All that's great. Knowing the 8 philosophies is education. That is, being able to switch between them mid meeting is leadership. Leadership isn't what we know, it is how we flow effectively. We need to stop trying to be a type of leader and start being the leader the moment need us to be. The atmosphere, the team need us to be. Effectiveness isn't about personality. It's about our presence and practice. That's what it's about. Well, my closing summary, I'm going to read that real quick. Before we head back to finish today, I want to leave you with this. If you ever find yourself wondering, am I an effective leader? Take heart. That question isn't a sign of weakness. It is the first sign of greatness. It shows the kindness of self awareness and the heart that people truly want to follow. As we leave this session, let's commit to keeping the lines of communication open. Our real impact happens when we stop trying to manage and start focusing on equipping and empower the people around us to win. It's been said that the hardest person we'll ever lead is the one looking back at us in the mirror. But when we lead ourselves with integrity and courage, leading others become an act of service rather than control. Let's never stop being students of this craft. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for joining me. And I look forward for you all to join me next week, next Friday, which is May. We will have a new subtitle. So I'm excited. Thank you so much for joining. There again, I'm your host, Dr. CJ Lee. That's our website and that's our email. Any final comments? I have
No.
time.
No, this is definitely great. I like the on the previous slide. I was trying to write real quick because I didn't take a picture. Stop trying to manage and focus on equipping and empowering. Yeah, equipping and empowering the people around us to win. Thank you.
Okay. All right, ladies. If you don't have any questions, thank you all so much for tuning. I'm going to stop sharing here and I'm going to stop the recording. All righty. Yes.